changed the name because it still showed Urdu panel there.
Okay.
So I'm working on my book right now.
Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you this once we finish this. Let's finish this.
Huh.
All yours. Please start.
Let's start together. But we are at the end of this festival. And Namrata, you go ahead and then I'll chip in.
So, good evening, everyone. As we bring this remarkable festival of literature to a close, I want to take a moment to reflect on the voices, stories, and the ideas that have filled our hearts and hearts over the past few days. At Anand, we have constantly believed that literature is not just about words on a page, it's about connection. Connection to each other, to our histories, to imagined futures, and to the truths we carry in silence. This festival has been a celebration of that belief, from the passionate debates to the quiet power of poetry, from emerging debut writers to literally legends. We've witnessed everyone's story and how storytelling continues to shape and reshape the world in the last 3 days. To all our authors, thank you for your courage and insight. To our listeners, thank you for your curiosity and your care. And to, of course, all of us who worked hard behind this, who worked tirelessly behind the scenes, this magic was possible with all of you, your belief, your faith, and the support of our authors and the listeners. It's been a very interesting journey this year because we started with a concept, with a thought, and as we started, we saw a lot of people join us, joining that idea, giving voices, giving names, introducing us to people who perhaps me or Sabine wouldn't have directly known or even thought of. And that's what this whole thing is about. It's just not restricted to both of us or to any of us at Anandke. It's actually bringing together. It's a community of all of us coming together, and it was possible only because of all of them who have helped us create this year's festival. So as we part ways tonight, may we carry these stories forward, not just as memories, but as catalysts. May we write more boldly, read more widely, and listen more deeply. That is more important. To you, Sabine.
Thank you so much, Namrata, for that. And you've very succinctly and very coherently, put, all my thoughts as well. You've, because mine get lost in translation. So, so thank you so much for that. I'd especially like to, begin with thanking you for being such an amazing ally and partner in, some would say, crime, the crime of, speaking truth to power. And absolutely, each and every one of those who participated in any shape and form, thank you so much for that, because this is what makes things possible and gives us food for thought, in the sense that, when we work together, when we, do away with all the things that, that has wrapped around us, things like, what the world is throwing at us, the hate and the vitriol and the misogyny and the bigotry and whatnot. And even if, we're not, part of that, but it gets, we are, it gets wrapped around us one way or the other. And, doing away with that and coming forward and stepping up and sharing insights and, voicing opinion and creating these narratives. This is how, we can move forward. So thank you everyone for doing that. There's so many people that, we can thank, Tarun Saint and Sabine Javeri and Naima Rashid and, so many, Meher Hussain, Naveen Kishore, each and every one of them. This is like an Oscar speech, where if I forget somebody, I'd like to thank my husband, but no,
This is the reason I don't take names, because I'm sure
exactly,
I'll forget someone, and it'll sound very offensive. Or she didn't take
exactly,
my name. Maybe she
exactly,
doesn't realize that. Like, yeah, thanks to
exactly,
everyone, you know who
exactly.
you are.
Yeah. Exactly, exactly. So yeah, but you're the person I'd really like to thank, because it's been tough, challenging, and having a person with the who knows, and not knows, they share the same wavelength, that's really important. So thanking everyone, but foremost, even though you're my partner, we're partners, but it's always good and important to celebrate people like yourself. So thank you so much for that. So this was
It's so much
a thank you note
fun.
for you.
Yeah. But it's so much fun working on Ananke, I always say this to you, that there's so much to learn from every panelist, every panel, every discussion. Like, even when we are working on the topics, we have a certain image, but the way
Yeah,
the image metamorphs into something so beautiful, with
exactly.
all these voices coming together and adding their stories. By the end of the panel discussion, I'm like, wow, I perhaps would not have thought of this, though I thought of the topic. And
Yeah, yeah,
that's what we
yeah,
learn, that it's just so brilliant. So, like, in one
and
of
you
the
know what?
sessions, yeah,
Yeah, go on. No, no, first you
in one of the
go
sessions
on.
where we were talking about fiction and the power of fiction and how it is important to tell, and it
Yeah,
comes with a responsibility. Sasha raised a very valid point. She said the very fact that till date people are banning books, countries are banning books, is enough to tell you the power of fiction. Nobody else needs to tell you anything. And I'm like, wow,
exactly,
nobody thought of banned books till now, And that moment,
exactly,
the whole conversation layered, it changed.
exactly,
It just shifted and it went
exactly,
to a very different level. That's it. That's enough for me to tell you that, it was just a goosebumps moment. Just like it happened in this
exactly.
Women in Publishing session also, that, we saw it through a gendered lens. We saw it through a very different way. And we were able to understand that that's what we want our platform to stand for. So yes, we
Exactly.
learned so much in
Right.
that case. Yeah.
Absolutely. Two phrases that, were my key takeaways. One was by Amit. He was quoting from a speculative fiction, a book. I don't remember the, I think Natalie Portman movie Annihilation is based on that book. And the phrase is, which I'm now going to quote everywhere, it's the narcissism of the human gaze. So that was one phrase I really loved. And the other was small but mighty.
Yeah.
So, these were some amazing phrases. And, coming back to what you were saying, that, the session evolves into something, and not flexing here. Uh, but, I think one reason for that is, when we and I've always, said that, be it this Lit Fest or the Girl Summit or any session that we organize, is, I tell them that, this is your panel, and you can envision, what we're giving you. That's just a framework, so that you have an idea, what the conversation can be like. But you're the moderator, and which is why we want, the chairs, the hosts, the moderators to be, I mean, we vet our moderators for that, so
Yeah.
that they can envision the panel and steer it, accordingly. So they should know the subject matter. Otherwise, it's us doing that, doing the research, which is why you
Yeah.
can see so many of them being moderated by, the two of us.
True.
You have to put in the effort. And when they do that, and when we have these, like Geeti Chandra, you were saying, and the climate session that we had. So it's because of that, it's because of their vision, and giving leverage and agency to the panel is really important. If you're just focused on a time frame that 4 minutes per person, it doesn't have a conversation cannot happen. When you restrict that, you have like a time frame.
And that's what a lot of panelists came back this time. Many of them were not confident they would be a right fit, which always happens. Like, I'm sure authors always have that self-doubt, that do I add to this? Many of them came back, like, I love the panel, and now I understood what you saw in asking me to be a part of this panel. So that was a huge yay moment for us. Like, that's what I always keep telling people. Me and Sabine, we filter every bio. When we reach out to a person, there is a reason we send in the email that, okay, this is the 2 panels that we see you, because we see your work, we have either read them ourselves or we know what areas you work in, and we try to give you the best panel where your voice will add a lot more than what we could think of. And
Absolutely.
It's great we were able to do that for another year again. Yeah. We need to celebrate this.
With a San Sebastian cheesecake.
Yeah, we need to have a virtual party.
Me.
Yes. We need to have a
Exactly.
virtual party. You can eat that at that end. I'll eat something here, but we need to have a virtual party for this one.
Yeah, protein based. Yeah. Healthy. Yeah.
Healthy.
We're the yin and yang.
Sorry?
Not believing in binaries. We're the yin and yang, not believing in binaries, but here we can, we can be a little flexible, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, letting loose. I think I'll go on a break now.
Yes.
Otherwise, yeah.
A well-deserved one.
Yeah.
So that's all from us. Thank you once again. Do support, share, put on your comments to all the sessions that you've enjoyed. If you have any questions, please feel free to share them. We would be more than happy to take them to the panelists and get you responses. They were very eager to hear from you. So they would definitely love this. So do leave your comments, leave your questions, anything that you might have, or you have the email IDs, you can write to Ananke. We can get you detailed responses from them on that as well. And thank you once again. With that, we would like to wrap this up year's Ananke's Festival of Literature 2025.